It's a beautiful tree. Yeah, I love trees.
This huge elm tree that arches over the street in southeast Portland.
Wow, it's really regal. Look at these big branches. Look how much.
Has been part of Diane Morgan's home for decades.
This tree provided us a lot of shade.
It was planted in the Eastmoreland neighborhood long before she ever moved in.
Yeah, I wasn't here.
So you can imagine the dismay when Diane noticed someone had unexpectedly spray painted the old elm tree and stapled a sign across the trunk.
Yeah, I came home from a meeting. Boom.
Turns out it wasn't vandals that tagged the tree.
Like, whoa,
It was the city of Portland demanding the tree be cut down because it was infected with the fast-spreading Dutch elm disease. And the homeowner had to pay for removal.
And now that bids have come in and we find out that it's going to be $11,000 to take down this tree, and you say, I mean, we keep an emergency fund, but our emergency fund is not $11,000.
To make matters worse, the city demanded that Diane act fast because Dutch elm disease is lethal and highly contagious to other elm trees, spreading through the roots of neighboring trees and certain beetles. City code required she remove the tree or sign a contract to have it removed within 30 days.
I understand why they want to take the tree down, but this is a very tight timeline to do all that and come up with the money.
And if she didn't comply, the city threatened it would charge her for the cost of removal, along with a civil penalty and a lien placed against her property.
I felt very pressured. I mean, it's really clear. They're calling it a civil penalty. That's strong language.
It hasn't always been this way. For many years, the city took responsibility.
While neighbors watched, city crews took down the elm tree.
Old footage from the KGW archives shows city crews in the 1980s removing street trees infected with Dutch elm disease in the right-of-way, or that area between the curb and sidewalk.
The city forester came out to look. His diagnosis? This tree has Dutch elm disease and it has to go.
But in 2017, the city changed policy and shifted that cost to adjacent property owners. City Forester Jen Cairo can explain.
It was part of a budget package that went to City Council. And City Council determined that it's a more equitable use of the city's resources to have that code consistently applied throughout the city.
Portland has approximately 2,300 susceptible elms scattered across the city, although there are large clusters in neighborhoods like Eastmoreland, Laurelhurst, and Ladd's Addition. If unchecked, experts warn Dutch elm disease would have a catastrophic impact on Portland's urban forest. To help monitor, the city provides free sampling and testing for the disease.
Right.
That's how it determined Diane's tree was infected with Dutch elm disease.
It's similar to humans having an infectious disease that is fatal, or maybe someone's pets having an infectious disease that's fatal.
In 1987, the City Council declared trees infected with Dutch elm disease a nuisance and declared a state of emergency for Portland's elm canopy.
People are being asked to examine elm trees in their neighborhoods for telltale symptoms of the disease, such as unusual yellowing of the leaves near the crown or the top of the tree.
Every year, roughly 40 trees are removed in Portland due to Dutch elm disease.
Okay. It's gonna be gone.
The fungus invades the tissue of elms and stops water movement in the tree. An infected elm tree can die within weeks of showing symptoms.
Whoa.
For now, there is no cure.
This tree provided a lot of shade.
Recognizing how important it is to keep this from spreading, wouldn't it be valuable for the city to step in?
Yeah, that's really a conversation and decision for City Council to have, because they're the folks, the elected officials who create the city's codes. One of our roles in urban forestry is to implement those codes. So that's what we do.
I'm just sad that it's gonna be gone.
Diane feels the city is insensitive to homeowners.
A tree that's been here the whole time we've owned this house.
By issuing heavy-handed demands. Removing a beloved elm tree can be heartbreaking.
My daughter and son had their bedrooms on the second floor, and my daughter said, "That's the tree I looked out to growing up." I said, I know.
She's especially frustrated that there wasn't more support from the city, like some type of financial assistance.
Snowing sawdust, isn't it?
help finding tree removal companies in a pinch, or some advance warning. That old tree along the street could get Dutch elm disease, requiring costly removal.
To just watch it have to come down is really, really sad.